The adventure begins. You, the DM, needs to set the scene. That talk around town has been filled with an outbreak dubbed the Death Curse. Anyone who's been brought back to life through magic, God's power, or anything else is rotting day by day. And death will claim them for good. They lose a health point every day. Now the PCs are sent to meet a retired adventurer who is a victim herself of the curse. She's also a one-time merchant. This is Sindra Sylvain. She's panicked by this new threat to her body. She's got cleric friends and they haven't been able to help. She's thrown a lot of good money at various attempts to find an answer. Her friends in the Harpers believe it's due to a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. That's pretty much all we've got to go on. Maybe with some more details or insights, or Sindra knows it, the Soulmonger is something which is a collection of souls sucked in from all over that uses magic to feed on life itself through necromancy. With Sindra being an archmage, or ex-archmage, she's thrown quite a lot of money at hiring adventuring groups to search Chult, where it's believed to be. Find the Soulmonger and destroy it. I say it's useful to have it out in the open that she's hired many parties, but the book says not to do that. But this way you can have the players make multiple characters, a backup or two, for the adventure to meet grind as advertised. It will also allow for one epic DM moment known as the Rival Party. But we'll get to that another time in a later video, so subscribe. Sindra wants to teleport the final group she's requesting to the only major city in Chult, Port Nyanzaru, but you could send them by boat instead, so that they can witness the dragon turtle off the northern shores. It's just a cool cutscene if nothing else. Either way, Sindra says that she will stay with her friend, one of the 7 merchant princes, who head merchant guilds of different styles in the port city. Her friend is called Wakanga. Now my players, when confronted with, come on this quest to smash the Soulbringer, went, why? They really dug their heels in. Point blank, session 1, why should we do it? And I was like, because we're playing Tomb of freaking Annihilation. And if you don't want to bother, let's just all go on. So promise the world to your players as a reward, or have them deeply want to save family and friends or themselves from this curse. Make them care. If they still require motivation, allow them to choose from this character hook list. Remember that their backups also need motivations, so maybe the characters they've created are family in some way and would care about each other's survival. Should the first character die, hears of their sibling not being able to be brought back, maybe that's incentive. Now, arriving in Chult, I introduced my party via a boat to the port, which has to pass a dragon turtle that is huge, and it basically demands a bribe, money, worthy items before allowing safe passage. It's one of those moments where the players are tiny and this thing is huge, and it just gives them a sense that you're a low level mate. And also introduces dinosaurs into the scenario. But the book says teleport in. Instantly the heat is apparent. Tell them that the dehydration rules apply until they find a way around it. And the heat exhaustion, especially in like heavy armour and stuff. These are rules that are going to be put in play until they fix the issues. Okay, entering the harbour ward by sea has them pass the statue of a Chultan king in full regalia. It's actually a fairly clean and new addition, they might notice. They'll see other ships here, such as the Brazen Pegasus, captained by a female rock gnome called Ultime Swift. She's a smuggler by secret trade and outruns the pirates who plunder Chult. She can be hired to ferry them around the island, so as I mentioned earlier, they could kind of rock up at any port or get off anywhere, which means you might have to watch most of this series' locations before even starting. Now, the Ghosts of Saltmarsh book has random ship maps, names, descriptions, and obviously quest adventures. If you wanted to extend the journey into the sea, the warehouses are used to load and unload cargo, using large dinosaurs and ropes and pulleys, and that feeds them down to the market ward, where the dino meat and fish markets are to be found and smelt. A gladiatorial coliseum holds afternoon performances for families, but after sundown, it's a chance of a real fight, where players can fight dinosaurs, random beasts, or even undead that have been caught. Maybe a trip to the bathhouse will rinse off that terrible smell, and you can even get a massage. You are expected to leave a donation for the priesthood afterwards. The Hall of Gold, with its golden roof catching the sun as it sits prominently on the highest part of the city. This bank is run by a priest called Mother Sibonsina, who can be seen paraded through the city, accompanied by song and dance, as she throws coppers to the poor from Tiriki Anchorage, where all the dinosaurs are housed. Okay, let's talk about the single best introduction to any D&D location. The dinosaur race! Now I'd suggest simply asking the players if they'd like to bet on the race, or ride in the race, or I guess both. Then you can go in as simple or as in depth as you like with the betting, etc. I had to simplify things. I would say 10 gold pieces to enter. That's the lowest bid. If you come third, you get your 10 back plus 10 gold. If you come second, you get your 10 back and 50 gold prize. And first place gets you your 10 back and 100 gold prize. That's how I ran it. Otherwise, you don't get a position, you've lost your 10 gold. The casino always wins, you know? Okay, the dinos can be represented by whatever, coins with numbers on, horse models, any models. And they will race 30 feet on a grid or a determined distance, you understand. I had the standard dinosaurs use D6 to roll for how many squares they moved. The obvious action to use is to dash. A successful animal handling check allows for rolling with advantage or makes the D6 a D8, possibly a D10, your call. Then you might decide to add in attack actions for the dino riders or do any tweaks that you see fit. I did use the dino names and made up the rest. It was awesome. Right, things of note which I kind of didn't mention yet. There's insect repellent to stop the flies buzzing around you. You can buy them in little soapy bars or huge jugs of slime. When it rains, it properly rains, so a rain catcher might be in order. Imagine like a deck chair with a roof on it. I suppose like a fishing chair. Tej is the most local beer, orange, honey smelling, and the local weapon is a Yickelwar, a 3-foot pole with a massive blade on the end. Like a javelin, but also works as kind of a scythe for cutting through the jungle. Right, back to the tour. The merchant's ward is the posh end of town. The living is as clean as can be, and the security is tight. And the temples here draw in the right kind of people. Just outside the northern west wall are extra shops, including general store type deal. And the executioner's run is where criminals get a chance to reclaim their freedom. They get in at one end, predators make their way down, they have to run and get through them to the end. Hooray! You can go free now. Now further north can be smelt the rubbish dump, cooking in the hot sun. Otyughs live deep in the garbage. I introduced one more shop, which you may like or you may not. It was a magical store in 2 ways. It sold magic items, etc. and it teleported in to a gap between 2 other shops. Sometimes it was there, sometimes not. Look, this is just an excuse to excite my players, have them spend gold, trade, upgrade weapons, buy health potions, come on players, have a cool funny NPC owner who might give you a card so that he might bring the store to you wherever you are in Chult once he gets round to it, like a delivery man who goes around the multiverse. If you need them digging out of a hole, he's the guy to get you fixed. Finally, let's talk the merchants and the guides. It's the merchants who control the stock on sale, for the most part. Well, there is a black market in the poorer sides of town. To summarise, Akini Yafa sells standard weapons and travelling equipment and the like. Ifon Talroa sells beasts of any kind, mounts, etc. He is an informer for the Yuan-Ti. Jessamine, a master of poisons and their plants. She's dying from the death curse herself. Joe Ball sells guides to people, runs that business. He sells maps and swords for hire. Chilterns who want to make money fighting through the jungle. Quaothe is a poor, done good sort of a tale. Just think liquids, wines, insect repellent, whatever else you think of that falls under runny stuff. Wakanga is the magic spellcaster, but also is good for just general information, lore, history, DM stuff really. So that magic stuff comes in scroll formation, potions, and magic items if you don't want to use my quirky shop. And if you recall, this is Syndra's ally in the port. These merchant princes do their deals in their posh houses behind closed doors. I would assign them colours. They dress in those colourful robes. Their tent awnings may have those colours, therefore you know where to buy what from. We get a generic map of a merchant's palace in case they do seek audience with these people. You just need to picture splendour. They're protected by guards, and it's hard to get an audience when you've got no renown or notoriety, so you can have them work up to that. Prince Joe Ball runs the guide business and has the guides pin cards or notifications to message boards at the inns and large tourist places, I guess. The guides will charge 5 gold pieces per day, and since they're off out into the jungle, they'll expect to be gone a month or so, so they'll take a month's pay up front, thank you very much. You can roleplay any deviance from that. In the book we have the cards and the guides, and in the taverns they basically pin their own adverts over the others. When those guides come off, the ones that have been out come in and put theirs on top, so there's an ever-changing battle of who's advertised. It might be an idea to just have 3 or 4 to choose from at first, or roll randomly if that suits you, but the players have to do the choosing. Who do they want to most travel with, or where do they want to be led? Behind the scenes, here's what you need to know. Azaka is a weir tiger and wants to go to Firefinger to reclaim a family heirloom. She knows the guardian Naga in Oralunga, and she's afraid of heights. Iku is a coatl in human disguise. She knows where the lost city of Omu is, but that's a secret. She wants to guide good aligned PCs around to defeat evil in the jungle. She also knows where the Guardian Naga is and the Arakokra of Kersabal, and she's been from there to Nangalore often too. She wants the Hag of Umbala dead. Farul and Gondulo, these 2 no-hopers, have parted away most of their money, except for their racing Triceratops, Zongo, which they can only use as a mount because it's too slow. But the pair do have a treasure map, but need adventurers to claim and share the dragon's hoard with at Needle's Bones. Hugh Hackinstone, he longs for the mines. He lost an arm to Tinder the Dragon down at Wormheart Mine. He needs adventurers to help him kill the dragon. He will head straight to the mine regardless of where the PCs ask to go, and he won't tell him he's doing that. Musharib is an albino dwarf. He needs adventurers to help sneak Moradin's gauntlet from Hrakhamar. Carwasher, and Kupalue. Carwasher is a druid who travels with a veggie pygmy he calls Weed. He will explain that a charter of exploration should be bought from Fort Belurian. It costs 50 gold and allows travel around the northern section of Chult, which technically is Baldur's Gate owned land. The charter also allows whatever treasure you find to be plundered, taken, except you'll have to donate half of the treasure money to the Flaming Fist at some point. This charter can include an extra payment to get 6 guards to accompany you through the jungle. River Misk and Flask of Wine, the 2 tabaxis, they're siblings and they work out of the poorer areas of town and take payment from the Zentarim. River does all the main talking, and these will safely get the players to Firefinger and Dungrunglung, the Grung encampment. They also have an eye out for Artus Simba. Salida is a shape-changed Yuan Ti, whose boss, Raz Nasi, can be found working out of Omu, the city that we all want to get to. They use sending stones to communicate who's coming near Omu. Shogo is the son of the merchant prince. He works for the Flaming Fist in their efforts to get rid of undead. He's seeking a promotion from Liara Portia, the leader of the Flaming Fist. Finally, you need to sprinkle a few rumours into conversation. Each time they either meet people to converse with in the large locations of the map, or only when they get to the local hubble-bubble of Port Nyanzaru. Next, we'll go through the literal locations.